Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Toyota Rav4 Hybrid. This is an XSE. It's finished off in Calvary Blue with an MSRP just over $43,000. Now, just a fun fact, RAV actually stands for Recreational Activity Vehicle. So with Toyota's slogan, let's go places, this is a vehicle you can actually take off the pavement. Now, being the hybrid, this is powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It's also paired to 3 AC motors along with the 1.6 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack. It's also paired to the electronic CVT, and combined this pumps out 219 horsepower, 163 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is around 7 seconds, but the biggest factor is the 41 miles per gallon in the city and 38 out on the highway. So if you want a very fuel-efficient vehicle, you also need the practicality of an SUV. It is a great option to go with. Now with this model, we have all the gloss black accents, which really gives it a great look. There's the blue lighting or background there to indicate it's a hybrid. That's also the sensor. There's the forward-facing camera as well as all of the parking sensors. This does have LED lighting along with a DRL strip in that lower section, and then plenty of cutouts in that grille to provide a lot of cooling. Now this model also has a set of 18-inch wheels that are finished off in gloss black, and this model has just over 8 inches of ground clearance, so actually it can do pretty well off the pavement, which we have been able to test in the past. There's gloss black for the fender arches. It's in the lower section. It's on the mirror caps, where this also has a camera and a turn signal. Full moonroof up top. Roof racks are currently installed. There's a nice trim accent in the upper section and then gloss black in that lower section. But a really nice design overall with all the lines, very subtle, but also has a little bit of definition to it. Now we have the gloss black spoiler with the third brake light and wiper blade. There's the LED taillights with more of that brush trim running right through the middle. It has a backup camera, of course, all the sensors, dual exhaust down below. And then you can actually use the key fob. You can use a button up underneath to gain access to the cargo. On the right side is the lock button. So once it finishes closing, you can push that to lock. But if your hands are full, you can just kick up underneath and this will open up. So very nice to have that. We have a good bit of cargo space in back. There's the sub for the JBL audio. You do have the spare tire up underneath, so you have a little bit of storage there if you need it. Cargo net on one side, we have the cover, and those back seats do fold down if you need a little bit more space. Now what I love about this car is that you can actually lock and unlock it with all 4 door handles, which is very convenient. And this interior has a nice design with all the blue stitching. We have some brushed accents, a little bit of storage down below, and then all of the blue stitching within the seats. And then at 5'10", there's actually a good bit of space. I have plenty of leg room. There's climates and auxiliaries. There's also a storage net. And then right in the middle, there's the armrest with 2 cup holders, and you can actually recline these seats slightly. So it gives you a little bit more comfort, and I have about 3 or 4 inches above my head at 5'10". So it's actually pretty good for its sizing. Now the front door panel is just like the rear. However, we have the memory seating adjustments, your window side mirror controls, and even more storage. Now this model only has power operations for the driver's seat with the same designs there. And then let's start this up where you are not going to hear it because it's a hybrid. All you will see is the green ready over on that left side. Now, as far as the controls go, we have cruise and adaptive cruise with your distance, pacing, lane keeping, mode, and tuning. Left side, you get volume, Bluetooth, and voice commands, and then you have controls for the digital gauge cluster. Now, on the left side, there's charge, eco, and power. Right side is miles per hour. And then you can also go through 3 different home screens. So you can actually configure all 3 of these depending on what you would like to see. So you can adjust the middle as well as the right side, and then you can also go over to the left side and configure those as needed. So it's actually really nice, just depending on what you would like to see, you can have 3 pages ready to go. Now there's a little bit of storage on this left side. We have the power liftgate, odometer, heated steering wheel. You have your defroster, auto headlights, fuel cap release is down below as well. And then you have a view button for that camera system. So it plays this automation here, so that way when you hop in, you can just get another look as to what's around the entire vehicle. Now for the rest of the screen, you have navigation when you have that ready to go. There's also your music and phone. You have some trip information that you can get into and go through, even your energy flow. And then you have all of the general settings to go through to get this to your liking. Now there's air vents underneath that. We have all the climate adjustments laid out well. Large knobs for your temperature. There's fan speed, where you like the air to go. This even has heated seats. So there's 2 settings for your front passengers. Traction control, wireless charging with some more auxiliaries in the back. And then when you put this into reverse, we have that backup camera with the guidelines. And you also have a few different angles depending on what you would like to see. Now to view the forward-facing camera, put it into drive, push this view icon, and then that will pop up where you can look at several views. Now you can also push on the automatic setting. So when you come to a stop right around under 4 or 5 miles an hour or so, the forward-facing camera will automatically pop up. You do have the sport setting here, so you can go through plus and minus. This has auto hold with the e-brake. There's also a trail mode. You have an EV mode. Basically, the EV system really only works under 10 miles an hour or so, so you can push on that. It will automatically go to the engine once you accelerate past that speed. Now, there's a few different driving modes that you can go through by using this rotary dial. You'll notice the entire gauge cluster will change too. There's 2 cup holders. Get a little bit of space with some auxiliaries in the armrest there. A lot more storage on this passenger side as well as in the glove box. And then for the rear view mirror, you also have the camera system. So if you'd like to use that for more visibility, you have that along with your garage door buttons. There's also a sunglass holder. You have your dome lights and controls for both the sunroof and that power sunshade. And here's a look at visibility. It's pretty easy to see all around. It's not a large vehicle, so you really don't have any blind spots. And with it back in sport mode, pedal to the floor, here we go. And we're up to speed. Not all that bad, but again, I do wish it had a little bit more power from this 4-cylinder, but this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Toyota Rav4. And like I've said, it's very simple, but it's nice. So you have everything laid out very well, and you can quickly go through all of this information that is available. But it's a really nice place to be. It's been a great commuter vehicle for the highway driving that I've been doing, for the city driving around town. Honestly, it's a really good blend of everything, and the fact that you can get that much MPG from an SUV is also very impressive. So if you need a little bit larger of a vehicle, maybe you're going hiking, you're going camping, you need more space, you have the roof rack for additional items, kayaks, something like that. This is a vehicle that Toyota has geared towards that recreational lifestyle, being that it's the recreational activity vehicle, the RAV4. So it is something that gives you the SUV practicality, but you get really good MPG, you get that better sizing, and you get something that is pretty durable and very reliable. So I have no complaints with it. It's definitely something that I would consider. This would be a really good vehicle for my wife, for what she needs for a vehicle. And just if you do a lot of those recreational activities, I could see this working very well for that. I've seen some of the Woodland edition, some of the trim levels, you can get a little bit more ground clearance, a little bit of an added lift with some larger tires. I have seen some RAV4s actually lifted, which I think look really cool. I don't see that too often. So you can definitely have some fun with this vehicle in those aspects. Let's do one last acceleration for today. Very tight in the maneuvering there. And we can get back up to speed. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Toyota RAV4. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.